Hi everyone, it's Jeanette. Today's little video is going to be how to cover stitch thin fabric. As you can see, I have some organza here, and we're going to put that to the side because that's going to be one of them. Then we have this really sheer netting with some embroidery on it. And then what I'm going to do is go from the two thin ones to organic fleece. And all I'm going to do, because I'm going to show you that you can cover stitch these, and then by changing one setting you can go right on into the thicker stuff, such as organic fleece. So with that, as most of you know, I have the Brother 2340. My needles are going to be at the wide, left, right, nothing in the middle. And I'm going to show you my settings so you know I'm not going to be messing with them. They're all at 2. And for the thins, I'm going to have my differential is at the 0.7. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I decided to do this because there's been a couple posts on there saying that to use lead fabric. I generally don't sew any of this stuff. This is from like 2 years ago, and but what I'm going to tell you, what I did on the organza, I did iron it because when I did my first sample, it just waved all over the place. So what I did is I pressed it up the 1/2 inch, and all of you know I don't like to press, but with this I think you need to. And if some are uncomfortable even with the one, you can go twice. But then but what I did is I pressed it and I used spray starch on it to keep it stiff like this. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with the organza. We're going to do the couple of turn downs. Alright. And then hopefully everything will work okay. We shouldn't get any tunneling. Okay. Go a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to take this out and look at it. And I should mention too that my presser foot, I never change. It's always at a 1/2 inch off of the machine. And what I mean that is the top of the screw, of the silver screw, is always 1/2 inch off the top of the machine. So here you go. Oops, sorry about that. There you go. No tunneling, and pretty good, you know. But if you're more comfortable with doing it one more time, you know, to be on the safe side. But it doesn't look like the edges are, you know, as long as you cover the edges here, they shouldn't fray. So now let's go on to the netting, which is really even thinner than the organza. And what I'm going to do, since this has embroidery on it, and I don't want you to think that that's what's holding it, I'm going to sew just within this area right here to show you that I'm not catching the embroidery to help me. So here we go. We're going to turn it under. We're going to do our couple stitches, turn downs, and then here we go. Alright. Alright, and we're down to that. Now I must admit I'm a fabric hoarder, so I've had this fabric for quite some time now. And I decided, well, since I have some thin stuff, I'm going to see, because I've never tried it. Okay, so now we're going to trim it and look at it. Alright, and here we go. There you go. Thin stuff without leading fabric. So there you go. And this is, like I said, it's like a net. It's really got holes in it. You don't even need tissue paper underneath. So let's go on to the next one, which is the organic fleece. This is not as thick as the fleece that you buy at the store. The polar fleece, this is organic. I used to make baby blankets. So again, we're going to do the 1/2 inch turn down. But before I do that, again, my settings are at 2. Now, this is where I'm going to change. You're going to hear like about 4 clicks. Okay, now we've got it the 1 dot past the 1. And nothing else has changed, just my differential. And get this under there. Do our couple turn downs. And then we're ready to go. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's take this out and give it a lookie. And as you can see, there's no tunneling on the other two, and there shouldn't be any tunneling on this one either. Let me get my needle up a little bit more. There we go. Excuse my hands too. Okay, and there you go. No tunneling. And all I did was change one setting, my differential. So if you know what your presser foot sweet spot is, and like I said, mine is at the 1/2 inch above the machine, and here I've got my little ruler I'm going to show you. So here we go. There you go. That arrow, that first arrow, that's the 1/2 inch mark. And there you go. I've set it there, probably right after I got the machine about 4 years ago, and I haven't had to change it. It sits there, like I said, it's my sweet spot. So if you guys can maybe try it at the 1/2 inch mark again, you know, maybe that's your sweet spot too. I don't know. But give it a try. And for those of you that do the thin fabrics like the organza, and I don't see that you can get anything thinner than this netting, but you don't need tissue paper. You don't need, you know, a lead fabric. Give it a try. Like I said, always practice on the fabric first. Practice, practice, practice. I had to do 3 runs, and each one of them was the same. I just didn't like the way the video was turning out. So, but each time it was the same. So there you have it. If you got any of you guys do sew on this thin stuff, show us what you do, because we really like to see projects. So get them out there, let us see them, so we can ooh and ah, and maybe get inspired and do some too. So happy sewing, everyone.